Hello, and welcome to our Cerenade video. In this video, we will introduce the ability to create conditional rules when creating a case. By setting up rules, you can enforce your caseworkers to fill out certain areas of the case profile at the moment of creating a case. Let us log into the caseworker portal. We will first show how to set up conditional rules, and then we will show how it works when creating a case. Let us go into our admin tools by clicking on the settings icon on the top right and proceeding to click on Administrative Tools. Once in the admin tools, go to your case processes. Once in the case processes, you will then see a new column titled Rules. Click on it. You will then click on Add Rule. You will be asked to add fields. You will want to add both the fields that will trigger a rule and the field with the result of the conditional rule. Please note that because we are setting a conditional rule inside a case process, the case process itself can also be an option for a conditional rule and does not need to be added in this section. For our example, I will want to say every time I choose an adjustment of status case, I want a rule that a custom field must be filled out with the specific information such as grant information. I will click on Add Field. Select the field type as custom field. I will then select the field name with the custom field I wish to apply the rule. It is important to note that a custom field must already be created to be added to this rule. Now that we have listed the fields we wish to add to the rule, let us click on Next to set up the rule. You will now see an option for If and an option for Then. This means if this happens, then this must happen. On the If side, you will click on Add. On the field name, you will see the case process type and the field we added in the previous screen. We will want to select case process type, and the software will auto-default to the case process you are in right now. You have the option of adding more things in the If area should you want to add more criteria for your rule. But for our example, the only rule we want to add is if the process type is an adjustment of status. We will move on to the Then side. I will click on Add. I will search for the custom fields I added in the previous screen. Once located, I will select the comparison, which contains options such as equal to, not empty, empty, and other options. For my example, I will say equal to and will be allowed to select a field value. Here is me determining what exact information I want my users to input when creating the case. I will add grant number 1 as an example. If you want to add more options on the Then side, you can do so. However, for this example, we will only set this one specific rule. I have now created a conditional rule inside the case process, which states, if the case has a process type of adjustment of status, then the custom field for grants must be set to grant number 1. Let us save this and let us test it. Let us click on the settings icon on the top right and click on Caseworker module to go back into the Caseworker portal. Let us create a case by clicking on the plus sign and selecting Case. The Create Case wizard appears where I will select the case number, department, program type, and category. Based on the conditional rule I added, I will also make sure I select the process associated with that rule. I will click on Next. I will select caseworkers assigned to the case and click on Next. I will link client profiles to the case, and once linked, I will click on Next. I am now in the conditional rules area of the Create Case wizard. Because I selected the case process on step 1, it is asking me to input grant information. I will then type out the grant information needed here. Should I input the incorrect text, an error message will appear letting you know what is the conditional rule that was applied. Once correcting the text with the one listed on the error message, you will click on Next, taking you to the area to add forms. Once finished, you will click on Create. The case profile has been created. If we go into the custom fields area of the case, we will see the custom field is filled out with the information that was added in the case wizard. With conditional rules, you're minimizing overseen sections that need to be filled out inside the case profile, forcing your users to have to fill those out at the moment of creating the case. This was just one example of a custom field that needed to be filled out, but you can automate things being filled out in both custom fields area of the case profile and the general info page of the case profile as well. This concludes our video on creating conditional rules in the case profile.